fellow joy lovers, and welcome back to Gimme That Joy. As many of you may recall, a last episode was based on physical rest, and we all entered the turbulent waters of incorporating more physical rest, more sleep, more naps, more just resting our eyes, taking breathers here and there into our daily routine throughout the week to just enjoy more of the blessing of actual physical rest. I hope that you all had a lovely time experimenting with different ways of increasing your physical rest quotient and that you enjoyed the journey of doing that. And so this week, we're going to ease into another aspect of rest as our joy practice for the week, and we'll head on into that. For our joy practice this week, we have the category of spiritual rest to explore and enjoy. And our challenge, or rather sacred rest prompt that we'll be using as our joy practice this week is as follows. If God sent you a personal message today, what would you need it to say? Write this down and place it where you will see it throughout your day. This was a very short yet rather profound and intriguing joy practice prompt. So we'll do it one more time. If God sent you a personal message today, what would you need it to say? Write this down and place it where you will see it throughout your day. This is a really interesting joy practice to incorporate from time to time in our journey through life. For me, how I've dabbled with this, and I've noticed myself dabbling with it, because a lot of times I have the intention to move in a direction, in this case, into the direction of incorporating a more restful approach to life in a spiritual way. And I notice myself, by the grace of God, doing something or being a certain way, and then reaping the benefits of that in my life experience. And so with this particular practice of receiving messages from God, I endeavor to, or rather, I am intentional these days about taking time right after I wake up in the morning when my mind is the least encumbered or occupied by anything, to just listen to the quiet. And in that time, ask God, what do you want to talk about? What's on your mind? And it's interesting how I can sense God speaking to me in my thoughts, and we can go back and forth a bit, exploring the topics that he brings up. And it's quite an insightful time, and I've come to really cherish that time in the morning and do what I can to prolong and preserve that time, even after I've gotten up, as I go forward in the first few minutes and couple of hours of the day. I try to maintain that kind of silent atmosphere. And while I'm doing things like getting ready for the day, cooking, putting things away, this kind of stuff to get going, I like to just maintain a silent atmosphere and to allow God to continue to speak to me through my mind and my heart, so that I enter into the day in a restful way, and I journey through the day with him with this restful, seeking God approach and listening for what he has to share, not only through my thoughts, but then throughout the day in interactions with other people and in other ways, to what he has to share and what he would like to, rather, and how he would like to guide me and inspire me and counsel me through the day. So it's really a beautiful time, and it ends up helping me to feel more secure, more comforted, more at peace, and more supported as I go into and as I go through each day. And that helps me to be more resourceful to other people and less demanding, because I have those moments, and less demanding of other people to fulfill my need for that sense of security and peace and certainty and rest within. So I thoroughly recommend this joy practice, because I've had beautiful experiences with, seeking God for what he has to say, and then just journeying on with him throughout the day in that posture. For our Life Catalyst segment today, the resource that I would love to recommend is a sermon series by Pastor Stephen Furtick of Elevation Church. From time to time, I like to listen to the messages that he has, and recently he ended a series that focused on the character and methods of God in his interaction with us and in his orchestration and how would I say this? In his involvement in our life circumstances and working in us and through us in those life circumstances, so that we can become more and more of who he has designed and created us to be. And then we can shine forth as he empowers us in all sorts of different ways, as our perspective of how he's being and who he's being to us is transformed into one that's more accurate and more life-giving. And so the series title is, the series is The God of, and each week, I think it's a series of 5 sermons. The first one was The God of Also, then there was The God of Again, The God of After, The God of Already, and The God of Away. I may have the order incorrect, but those are the titles. So I want to say it began with The God of Also, then went on to The God of Again, The God of Already, The God of After, and The God of Away. And so yes, beautiful sermon series, and each one contributed something different to enhancing our more of a holistic, multifaceted, and enlightening and empowering way of how God is, who he is, and how he is in our lives, and how in every circumstance, in some way, God is working things out for his glory and for our good. And when we go in with that kind of perspective, then we just really have a much more beautiful and blessed experience in every sense of the word, no matter what our circumstances are. And we see ourselves transforming into people who are more like him, because the emotional ground of our hearts is changed when we see God for more of who he is. And when we interact with him and the circumstances, when we interact with ourselves, the circumstances, and other people in ways that are enlightened by a deeper, richer, more multifaceted perspective of how God is and who he's being in our circumstances, and how he's just in everything working all things together for our good and for his glory. So I thoroughly recommend this resource, this sermon series, and I hope that you are similarly blessed by it as you continue on your journey into deeper, richer, and more consistent joy. And now for our gentle invitation to joy. Listen to God this week. Incorporate some silent moments, whether it's a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Incorporate these moments of just listening to God, hearing what He has to say, asking Him to share with you what you need, what He knows you need to hear at this point in your journey. It's a beautiful thing to hear from God and to experience the consistent presence and interaction that God desires us to have with Him throughout each moment of our day. And so as you go through the day, in the ways that are comfortable to you, in the ways that speak to you, in the ways that just kind of come to the surface as you journey with God into this practice of receiving from Him the messages He has for you, may it come together well, and may you have a blessed time of it throughout each day of the week ahead. And I look forward to hearing and reading about it in the comments below and in our Patreon community. May you experience a deeper, richer journey of joy this week. Bye for now.